Yeah. Ako ano?
As you are, I guess.
As we are lang. So however way you wanna talk naman will go.
This is also actually this also I take this opportunity na rin to really get to know you guys.
Yeah.
Super. Oo nga eh. Actually, we've never
Pero
had...
dapat may formal intro.
This is
Kasi,
the
okay.
podcast.
I mean, I'm sure we'll tackle like vlogging or whatever, diba? In general. Or YouTube. Most YouTubers...
I don't want to talk about that.
No, but most people will have their intro.
Yes.
And it becomes iconic kasi. It becomes something na you can play with. So, kunwari, most people... Actually, everyone else is like, hey, guys... But,
hey guys, you're here with us now. I'm Dino.
And I'm Jako.
And we're here in
PRODcast. Yan.
Sobrang hindi namin pinanakit.
Hindi talaga.
I think that deserves a high five. Yeah, awesome.
And then may ano ka na, intro cue. Diba? PRODcast.
Tama. So sinabi nila go lang.
Hindi, pero ano yung name na gusto mo if hindi podcast?
Interesting.
Actually, PROD Life Podcast.
PROD Life Podcast by Hub Pacheco.
No.
By Indioboy. Yeah.
Hindi, like...
Masyadong seryoso siya eh.
Hindi, I think yun nga yung problem. Like yun nga, like kami ni Justin Carino, we're trying out a new podcast format as well. Tagal namin to think of a name. Parang sabi ko, I don't wanna start a podcast without a name na we're happy with. Kasi parang that's how you're going to be assessed eh. Saka same with intro, di ba? Like yun nga, like all these things you have to think of eh. Hindi na to time na you're trying to do something and starting out and then trying to figure it out as you go along. Kasi everybody else is semi-pro na with stuff eh.
Yeah, actually,
Diba?
yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
So,
Parang everyone has to have like a signature move. No?
it's more like parang wrestling, di ba? Parang if you don't have your signature branding, signature moves, you don't have all these things, how are you gonna sell merch? How are you going to make a living, di ba? Paano ka magiging popular about it?
And be easily recognized.
Exactly. That's it's all branding.
Tama. So that's great advice from our guest today. Grabe. Siyempre kailangan formally introduce yung guest. So today we have Jako de Leon.
Hey guys.
Yes.
Yun talaga no. Hey guys.
Hey guys. Also, yun yung sa'yo.
Yun talaga. No, ako usually
What do you say? Yeah.
Ako, when I was starting out, everybody was doing hey guys. So sabi ko, I want to do something slightly different.
Okay.
So I started with how you doing guys? So all the videos that is me centric is always like how you doing guys? Yan nakalagay.
Because how'd that work out?
It did okay. At least it's different. It didn't catch like fire naman, and
I'm sure it was kind of strong with the females.
I don't know, because I end up like kind of eating my words. It's like, how you doing guys? No, parang like, di mo ano eh. But yun nga eh, it's important. May iba, like, I have a friend, she does, hey. Or I have si Will.
Heidi ho.
Yeah, mga ganon. Like, actually, anything, like si Will before used to be, what's up mga chong, mga chang? Ganon yan. So,
really? I didn't know that. Okay.
And now he doesn't do it anymore. But like,
kasi may kilala na siya.
But everybody has a catchphrase eh. I mean, yun nga, wrestling would be the greatest way to look at someone's marketing. Like a personality, a marketing ng person. Diba? Like artistas kasi, you can't really do catchphrases or whatever, diba? Unless si Arnold ka.
Unless ikaw si yung si Mulawin. Sino yan?
Si Richard?
Sorry, hindi Mulawin. Sorry. Yung Kuya Kim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had a signature when he was still a broadcaster.
Even
right?
when we were doing Bogart, when we started Bogart the Explorer a decade ago, we built.
It's been that long.
We wanted to do catchphrases kasi that's the easiest way people will recognize you. And when they see you, alam mo yung pag-concert, tas alam na nila yung lyrics to your song. And then when you just go, kunwari wala ka ng boses, iharap mo lang yung mic, they'll fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
Diba? So comedians, stand-up comedians, the wrestlers, yun nga.
Interesting.
Diba? Like
That's
parang
true.
if I say, "Do you smell?" Everybody knows now what The Rock is cooking.
Actually.
diba?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
give me a hell yeah.
I think that will be my homework na.
Yeah, no,
I should
you
think
need
of that.
you need
We need that for this podcast
yeah.
to really fly. I think that's why it hasn't picked up traction yet because no,
Nah.
but okay.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, you mean to tell me that did you start on cam? Did you start
No,
behind
no,
the
no,
camera?
not at all. I've always wanted to do behind the cam.
Okay.
I never saw myself in front of cam or even like this. Diba? Like, ano ko, shy.
Whoa.
Shy ako eh.
Wow,
But,
okay.
I mean, you would, like, people who know me as super talkative and madaldal about stuff. But I didn't start off that way. Like, ang kwento nga ng mom ko, I can't even go to, like, a fast food counter and ask for ketchup or whatever. Usually, lalapit daw ako. Kunwari,
You
Jacko,
were socially ano.
socially awkward in that sense. Like, my mom would be like, oh, kuha ka ng ketchup.
Interesting,
Lalapit
okay.
ako, syempre, with confidence, biglang.
How old were you then?
Siguro young. Siguro like, I don't know, like siguro mga 7 to 10, thereabouts. Okay. And then or 13, ewan. Or baka 18 college.
18, I think that was 18. Yeah.
And then I would just go like, ketchup, please.
Ketchup.
It's been a thing na parang I've always had na parang I siguro you overthink. Alam mo yun, like ikaw, like being an actor, like there are some people that can't do what you do. Diba? Because you have to have a certain level of confidence in yourself
Yes.
to do something. And so when I knew I wanted to be in media, but I know I didn't want to be in front for the main reason na alam kong I will, siguro kasi pawisin ako or something, I don't know, baka that factors in. But I was really, I wasn't comfortable in my own skin to be featured.
To be featured.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you were starting, what were the few things or first things that you were doing behind the camera?
Okay. So, to begin with, I was pre-med. So,
Okay.
I was trying to get away
I wanna hear this
from...
transition,
Okay,
yeah.
so I wanted to start from... Okay, so for those, the uninitiated to the Jako de Leon story,
Like myself.
my dad is Joey De Leon. So, Eat Bulaga, all that. So, everyone expects you to be the same, to have the same confidence, diba? But growing up, parang I wanted to be different from the... Like, I guess I wasn't confident enough to do media. I liked it, I enjoyed it, but I didn't go into it. So I went pre-med. Kasi sabi ng nanay ko, bagay daw sa akin puti. Yung
The
pangalan
white
ko...
coat.
No, pangalan ko is... Jako Rafael Makapagal de Leon. So, MD ka agad, di ba? So, Jako Rafael, MD, di ba?
and then another MD.
And then MD, di ba? And then Rafael daw ako, God has healed. Ang ibig sabihin ng Rafael. So,
Really?
yeah, so and then when I was in
I
grade
have to look
school,
that up.
ang nickname ko was Dr. J. So all my life I've been built to be a doctor, di ba? And then one day, I realized I didn't want to be a doctor because for the sole reason na I didn't get into the school na I wanted to go to.
Okay.
And that's when I realized parang unfair naman yun. Kasi parang, you know, to be a doctor, if you wanted to be a doctor, it doesn't matter what school you graduated
Yeah,
from.
kinda, yeah.
Kasi the goal is to help people eh. And as much as I want to help people, parang naging bitter ako na I didn't get into that school. So
Okay.
parang I realized maybe this is not my calling. Pero sigurista na ako. So college pa lang, nag-BS Psych ako. So I wanted to
Okay.
do BS Psych because I was working in the law library, in the law office. As
In college, you were
in
working
college,
already?
I was working in the law school. Sorry, law school.
What are you doing?
I was recording mga fake. How do you say it? Like, parang they had their law students
Okay.
come in and interview the school. My school for them would get actors
Okay.
to play different
Scenarios.
like kunwari
crime, okay.
criminals or whatever, or
okay.
whether they're guilty or not. So they have a role, may script
Okay.
sila.
Uh-uh.
And then the law student will do his thing.
Yeah.
And then they'll have a mock trial and all that. My job was to record the video.
Okay. 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 Sige,
So
sige.
so I was working at the law school. I was also working at 3 hospitals as a volunteer because I had to do it for my pre-med.
Okay.
And then on the side of that, I was doing marketing company. I was working in a marketing company in New York for non-traditional stuff. So at that time, uso pa mga like by non-traditional, digital was non-traditional at that time. That's my first foray into it.
You were doing all of this in college.
At the same time, I was working like, I don't know, 40 hours, 80 hours a week.
What? Okay.
Segurista ako because I didn't know where I wanted to go.
Okay. You're
Um,
quite an overachiever.
Medyo overachiever, but at that time, parang like feeling ko, I wanted to work, natanggap ako WWE. I was gonna work pero the work was internship. But the work was in Connecticut. Yeah.
Wait, you're talking about WWE?
As
the
in
wrestling
WWE.
or the one with the panda?
WWE, the wrestling.
WWF pala yun.
F yun.
Sorry.
No, I was gonna work there. Intern lang. But you needed to drive. And like, wala naman akong car. And I don't have an international license, so obviously I couldn't. Diba? But anyway, I ended up working in all 3, so I have experience in everything. Now, when I got back to Manila, someone told me, Jax, gusto ko mag-produce ng TV show. Marunong ka ba? Tapos ako parang like, kahit wala naman akong alam, I just said, yeah, sige, I'll produce a TV show. And that was a show called Front Act.
Your dad never introduced you to the whole
It's kind of like
industry, or
it's kind of like you grew up in it. So
okay.
you
so
see
there was
it.
no formal introduction.
It's
like,
no formal thing.
but it was your surrounding.
I think it's what he wanted.
Okay.
I think he wanted us to eventually, take over.
Okay.
Just like any dad would want a son to take over their family business, diba? So, but yun nga, I didn't have the same confidence, diba, to host or to be on cam. Like, pag nandun ako, naninigas na ako.
So
diba?
you saw this as an opportunity na.
Yeah, and wala lang. It just kind of came full circle na I ended up being in media. I think I tried to go parang imagine mo, I tried to go the opposite way, but I went back around, ended up in media.
There is a quote on that from Kung Fu Panda. No, I'm serious.
Ano?
Because it's the same way I fell in love with filmmaking.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay.
I mean, our fathers,
Yeah.
both my dad as
Yes.
well was they worked together
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Did you know that? Yeah. My dad's Al Quinn and his dad Joey De Leon. They
Yeah.
worked together at some point. But the quote, I remember if you search for it, it's by Shifu the Turtle.
Yeah, okay.
Sabi
Yeah.
niya, come on, Hub, help me out here. No,
Yan.
I'm serious. It's a nice quote, and I think it will apply to you as well.
Stairs.
The
Yun yung quote, stairs.
Stairs,
My
life.
biggest enemy, stairs. That's my quote when I see stairs. Ayan ba?
Parang
What's the gist?
okay, hold on. Wait.
So yeah, while you're looking at it,
Oh, sige.
a funny story lang is, yun nga, being pre-med, I had 0 classes that I could do that would be anything entertainment, except for one. I had one elective. And then I remember Francis Magalona told me, he was in Bulagano, and he told me, Jax, mag-photography ka. He's a hub sa photographer, that's why. Tapos sabi niya, turuan kita, pero mag-photography ka. Kasi my choices were photography or video making. And I ended up doing photography. And I feel like that's the reason why I realized parang, mas masaya pala to than my entire, college life. Like, I enjoyed photography a lot. So, I think yun yung first foray ko into anything creative. Wala lang. I mean, nanap mo na yung quote?
Yes, actually. So si Master Uguay, right? That's the name.
the turtle.
Diba, the turtle. Sabi niya, one often meets his destiny in the road he took to avoid it.
Yes. Beautiful
That's the quote.
quote. Yan. Actually,
Yun.
ma-save nga niyan.
Diba?
Ma-post yan.
It was worth the wait, guys. Seriously. Diba?
Hindi, it is true. I mean, I think what he's trying to say there is there's some sort of destiny rin eh.
Yeah,
Na no
dude.
matter what, and I think that's why they call it a calling. Because no matter what you do, it will always lead you back to it.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm happy, I think, to be doing what I do now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You are quite skilled in it. You are a producer in so many shows already.
Yeah.
But sobrang astig lang na y- I think I had a sim that your what do they call this? Your the part where you didn't get to your college, the college
Yeah.
that you wanted to.
Yeah.
That's a blessing in disguise.
I guess so.
Sobrang
I
astig siya.
You know what?
Kasi-
I think I tell people nga na I have the best job in the world because I create things and I believe in people. That's the one. And when everybody tries to, oh, what do you do? Because I do a lot of things. You know, you try to be multi hyphenated nowadays. But I think that those are the two things that I do best. Is I create things as a producer, and I believe in people as a mentor or a manager, and I like doing that because for me, when I see potential in other people, sabi ko nga, if I had one skill, it's seeing potential. And now my quest is like, what do I do with that? With that knowledge. Na, let's say I see someone and I think that person is gonna be something, but they don't. Diba? Like, that's power. In a sense na parang you could be helping someone find their calling.
It sounds like you can open a talent agency just like Casey Neistat did.
I wanted to before, but I realized ang hirap din. So I'd rather mentor. So a lot of creators, they go to me to, if they have questions. And for me,
But you manage
I manage Will, manage
Rick,
Bogart,
Bogart and Will, right?
and then I manage a few other people. Pero like, to be honest, I don't like the management part.
Okay.
I like mentoring.
Okay.
I like making sure that people get to where they're supposed to get.
Great.
Kasi parang I
Yeah.
feel like I'm in where I'm supposed to be.
Uh-huh.
So I'm in that spot. Yun nga, ano yung Master Ogoy quote again?
One often finds his destiny in the road he took to avoid it.
Yon. Like parang I got to my destiny.
Yeah.
And I think what I am destined to do is to do exactly that, to create things and to help people. And maybe I wasn't helping people in a medical sense.
Yeah.
But when I see people get to parang in a way my happiness is when I see other people happy.
What?
Yeah. And not no BS. It's just I'm happy doing that. Ever since kid ako, like if I know you're into let's say I have a friend, meron siyang gusto na I don't know, something, and I know he really likes that thing. And then I see it in a convention or whatever. I will get it, and then I'll bring it back. And then it's not like, Jax, magkano to? Bayaran ko. Hindi, ako sa akin, the fact that you're happy about it is good enough for me. Kasi parang, some people, I guess like me, they just get a high on the idea na you're helping someone.
Yeah.
And yun nga, I might not be able to help them financially or whatever, but that little moment, diba, parang priceless to me.
Sobrang interesting. Ang galing na. So can you mention some of the people that you've mentored? Is that okay?
Yeah, no, of course.
Maybe you can
Well, obviously,
give them a shout out,
I think one of the
You're
main,
like a proud father or
yeah, exactly.
proud tito
Yun,
moment.
parang
here.
parang godfather to them.
Yeah,
diba?
yeah.
To the point na alam mo na enjoy ko yung idea of nakakatawa kasi ang goal ko was to be a godfather of YouTube in a way, or a godfather of creators, wherein like you birth, you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. Like
I'll show you something you can't refuse.
yeah, no, like, and I wanted to be that, not because of the movie then. I mean, that was cool, but parang to me lang to be yung ano nila,
The
to
people,
be
the person people go to talaga for
yeah, and it wasn't for that title even. It just so happened that a lot of them referred to me as that when I started. It's nakakatawa.
No way. So it was really given to you.
Yeah, no. Like there are
the
people.
Godfather.
No. I remember I was in a meeting and then one of the other creators was like, yeah, si Jako yan yung godfather ng YouTube.
Oh,
and I'm
that's so
like,
cool.
uy, ang angas nun ah. And then one time, and so I kind of liked the idea. So that's I think when I started, liking to mentor people. And then siguro a few of them would be obviously Bogart, Will, because I met Will when he had maybe 10,000 subscribers. Again, like I see potential.
And he's up to what now?
He's at 2 million, I think.
Wow.
But our conversation was supposed to last 10 minutes, I passed by his house. I got him for one of my shows kasi. But then we got to his house and then we ended up talking for 9 hours.
No way.
Yeah, and one, we both talk a lot. But at the same time, you find, ano kasi yun parang yun nga, again, going back to seeing people's potential. I saw something that I knew would change the game talaga, which was vlogging. We were doing Bogart the Explorer at that time. It was a few years na rin.
Nauna si Bogart.
Yeah, way. We
mean,
were doing
you-
Bogart like 10 years ago. When we were doing, natawa lang ako, nakasulat dun sa camera ko pa.
Ano?
Ito, may kopal. Wala lang. Sorry, joke lang. COPAL. I don't know if you're not gonna see this, but natawa lang ako with it. Sorry.
Sa Lende.
But anyway, going back. Hub can cut this out. See, Will was someone na I saw him at the venue. Si Brian Wilson. He told me like, hey, why don't you check out my friend Will? Because sabi ko, we were doing a show called Asobi Masho Super Game Show, which is our version of Takeshi's Castle.
Okay.
And at that time, imagine this was a long time ago. Ang contestants namin were Mikey Bustos, Jinri Park. This was during Tanod's days. We'll talk about Tanod's in a bit.
2004,
Mga ganon, yeah.
16.
Mga ganon, 16, 15. And we had like Jenny Park, Joy Spring. So it was a game show na we wanted to make talaga. As a creator, you want to make the biggest thing na you can possibly create.
Yeah,
And
how'd that go?
that was good because that's how I met Will. So we were lacking one more. It was Team Tanods versus Team YouTube. And we were lacking one more YouTuber. And Brian was like, hey, can you check out my friend? Well, Will, I really think he's going to be good. So I checked him out. And then I was blown away by the content. I was like, wait, he's doing all of this by himself. Ganyan. Because we were doing a full production. We had a full team. Anyway, I met with him during the show. And I was talking to him. And I sat him down. And I was like, how often do you upload content? Kasi kami Bogart noon, will upload once a month. Because at that time, syempre, you take a while, you produce, you edit, and then we'll have a once a month video, and it'll go viral. Sabi niya, every day. Tapos sabi ko, wait, what? Every day? Like, how do you produce this kind of content
insane,
every
yeah.
day? Tsaka daily vlog. Sabi niya, and at that time, bago pa lang din yung daily vlogging like Casey Neistat. Casey Neistat was just 6 months in, and Will saw naman the potential in that. So, when I saw what Will was doing, I knew right then and there na this is going to be different. This is going to be there's no gradual change. All of a sudden, vlogging is gonna be big. So
It's so big now.
and
everyone has a freaking show.
Everyone has a vlog.
Has a show, yeah.
Yeah, everyone's their own content.
Grabe.
And with Will, parang I saw that potential and I wanted to hone that potential because I felt like, look, this kid should be going places. It's not like for me to see him grow is enough for me. So we started working together. He wanted me to manage him, and he was asking me, but I always denied the management part because I'll help you out, but I'm not gonna manage. And then later on, I started managing him. But yeah,
Bias na lang.
in 1 year, actually in 2 months, he got to from 10,000, he got to 50, and then he got to 100. By June of that year, he got to 100. And then we worked together for another year, and then he got into Big Brother and all that. And then the following year, that's when he got sick. And syempre, you're trying to build, and then all of a sudden, diba,
Yeah,
you have that. But
yeah, that was so big. That story really went around. The
yeah,
Philippines.
and he got over it naman. Now he's back in good health and good shape, and now he's a 2 million something. So everyone, yeah. Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Gusto ko yung may takip pa eh. Na.
Okay. You'll never know what I asked. Narinig mo ba? You can just lower the volume a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, so no, but Will's just one of many people na I really believed in and really and still today, like I see a lot of people na I feel there's a lot of things there that still could be reached.
Well, if you are able to create that kind of content daily, that is something to believe in.
Oh yeah.
talaga.
And then nakakatawa nga kasi the year after we started, nung una kami lang yun eh. Kami, Janina Vela. There's a few people who were doing vlogs. Then we did a talk the year after. Tapos,
Ito ba yung yung 2017? Ito ba yan?
I think we were doing a talk for YouTube.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden,
for the YouTube Philippines community, right?
yeah, YouTube Fan Fest. And then biglang nagulat kami kasi at the end of the talk, lunch break. Lunch break na guys, ganyan. And then everybody started taking out their cameras, their tripods, and then we're like, wow, we've birthed all these people, basically. And then from there,
Kayo
we
yung
trained a
naging
lot of
kuya
people.
talaga, no?
Yeah,
Kayong dalawa.
yeah.
Kayong
Basically, si Will is the godfather of local vlogging.
Actually, is he the top
Vlogger? I think now there's a bunch that
Meron
have...
isa, di ba? Yung, sino yun? Yung Kong, si Kong,
Oh,
di
Kong
ba?
TV.
Si Kong, si Kong,
Kong,
TV,
yeah.
di ba?
Kong naman did,
Grabe, dami niyang
on a separate. Si Kong actually medyo kasabay namin siya on YouTube. He's
Talaga?
been around for a long time. But when he started vlogging, that's also how it changed his life, diba? In a
Totoo,
way.
oo.
Kasi before, iba naman yung content na ni Kong. But it's interesting kasi nga, sabi nga namin, like, when we opened up vlogging in the Philippines, in that kind of scale, it birthed so many people who realized na, hey, wait, kaya ko tong gawin.
Yeah.
That confidence built, that's when you don't expect it. You don't expect na what you create can help other people find themselves, diba? In a way.
Yes, actually.
So yeah, that's on the vlogging end. On the production end, yun nga, I started 10 years ago on a show called Front Act. And then at that time, 10 years ago, we kind of figured out na the people are going into shorter content. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and we were on TV. So what did we
Tsaka yung mga ibang, pero yung ibang vlogs ng tao, di ba? Like 16 minutes?
now na yun.
12.
That's now. But 10 years ago, the magic number was like 3 to 5, something
Alright.
like that.
Wow, laki ng
Daming, laki. Like vlogging, the reason why vlogging changed the game was because YouTube was prioritizing longer videos. So it's called the minutes watched, or syempre, the longer the video, the more people are watching. The more people are watching, the more they could see an ad or whatever, diba? So they prioritize, syempre, as a
that's
business,
how they do
as a
it.
business, they'll prioritize minutes watched. So, vlogging nun, they were doing 10-minute videos, 15-minute videos. Kami nun, we were stuck at doing skits.
Yeah.
So you could see the change. You could see why their videos were ranking better. It wasn't because it was better as a video. It was more about the algorithm of YouTube
And their ads.
And their ads, yeah.
Actually, and you can you can talk about anything or have a skit or just have whatever content you have on YouTube. That's the awesome part. And there's, well, just not porn level, but yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, if we're going that route, if you look at all the innovations of digital media, it all stemmed from that. It all stemmed from porn. If you look at it, even live streaming and gifting and I mean,
I never thought about that.
It's one of probably the most innovative platforms ever made.
I have never.
If you look at gaming, look at live streaming and gaming and gifting in gaming.
Gifting?
Yung like donating.
Okay, yeah.
Or
holy crap, yes.
Yeah,
Oo nga, no?
that everything, even YouTube. If you're gonna look at YouTube innovations in terms of search engine optimization or SEOs, those are derived from what has already been discovered in
Porn
in
sites.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that was medyo taboo, so no one really talks about it. But
They just
I
applied-
believe that's how it worked out. Diba? Like, look at how. I mean, how do you get to these sites if you don't know the name of the sites? Diba? You see it through some random ad that pops up on your side, and so they're good at search engine optimization. They're good at getting their name out there, plus word of mouth, plus whatever. Sila rin yung
Which
nag-start.
people think are just, virus pop-ups, diba?
Yeah.
But really, they're just ads.
They're ads. They're and also at the same time, this is where, I remember we were discussing it somewhere. Ano lang to, like general talk. No, but we were talking about
something
like
juicy.
Nah, we were in a quiz night,
Okay.
And then the quiz night topic was porn stars.
Okay.
And like, grabe, all the tables na perfect nila yung alam mo yun, like all of a sudden we have this vast knowledge of who these people are. It's
Yeah.
impressive because
May naging artista nga, di ba?
Meron.
Si Sasha Grey.
Yeah.
Who's a very beautiful woman.
and look at this. Look at this. The interesting part is these are way before YouTube. YouTube is like 10 years, maybe 11 years. Porn has been around since we were grade 5 or earlier, diba? And we know these names. These are the first kind of popular people who are not in the mainstream media. Diba?
That's
I mean, if you're gonna look at it that way.
Yeah, I mean,
Subjectively, I guess,
objectively,
Yeah.
but that's wrong. But
That's wrong,
But
yeah.
there's
In
still that
not
manner.
not the
but,
people, not the people.
Okay.
But
oh my.
But the world of that, if you're gonna look at it and study it,
True.
it's really where all the innovations are coming
Hell
from.
yeah. And well, I for one know that I did not know Pamela Anderson because of her acting skills. That's for sure.
In fairness, I knew her from Baywatch kasi
Which exactly.
crush ko si CJ Parker at that time. I think everybody naman.
Okay.
Plus 1995 Royal Rumble. She was the valet ni Shawn Michaels.
Si Pamela Anderson.
That was the classic. One of my favorite Royal Rumbles kasi yun yung one foot. And then like si British Bulldog throws Shawn Michaels out the ring for the Royal Rumble. Shawn Michaels hangs on with 1 foot, hitting the floor. He comes back in, pushes British Bulldog out of the way and wins the Royal Rumble. They started at 1 and 2. So anyway.
This guy is a huge...
No, I know. That's how me and Hub got talking because I saw him wearing. We got him to be a photographer on Tanods. And then I noticed he was wearing a wrestling shirt. And that's how we realized, hey, look, we were fans pala pareho of wrestling. Part of my growing up was wrestling. Anyway, going to that's how we met on Tanods, diba? And Dino, you were on Tanods then.
I was in Thanos for 1-2 episodes, I think.
Yeah, no, but that's you naman, this part of the other thing that I do. I love producing that kind like shows. I think one aspect is the mentoring. The other aspect is creating things. Ever since Bogart, it's something that I like doing. I want to create stuff na... The world of entertainment is very politicized.
Yeah.
And very political. I don't know which word was correct, but one of them's
I do
proper
understand
grammar.
I understand you.
Yeah, so there's a lot of politics when it comes to networks and when it comes to creating. That's why when YouTube came about, I realized like, hey, look, I think we can create some things na it leveled the playing field, that it made it easier for us, even like
dude.
smaller production houses, boutique production houses, to come up with content.
Yep.
And yeah, so
It's really awesome. I think that people get to do this.
Yeah.
Because you
It's a
don't
fun
have
job.
to look for a big producer. You don't have to look for people with connections. You just have to have just your phone.
yeah, it's and sa amin nun, I mean, I guess we're going around in the direction, then we're coming back to it. But when I started on TV nga, because some guy told me like, hey, can you produce for my cousin?
Yeah.
I said,
Let's
yeah,
go back on
okay.
that.
So I started producing. During that time, we knew content was short. So we did a show called Front Act. It's a 30-minute show with 12 to 15 segments. The reason being na parang we knew the attention span was short at that time. And we were like, why don't we change the channel, quote unquote, for the audience? So, and during that time, one of my favorite shows was Robot Chicken. And Robot Chicken
I'm
had
not
this.
familiar with this.
So Robot Chicken is where si Seth Green, they had like these toys na they make skits out of. Pero the skits are kind of quick. So
Okay.
it's like 1 minute skit, less 30-second skit,
Okay.
and then you will have the channel change and parang may channel change to a new skit. So we adapted that formula, pero we did a 30-minute show with 15 segments na each segment's an interview, a sketch, a man on the street.
Wow, dami nun, ah.
Different content. So parang pre-YouTube, di ba? And then one of the segments was a segment called Bogart the Explorer. And one of our PAs, si Marco, he was a PA on the show. He became Bogart eventually.
Wow.
Yeah, long story for another day, but long story
Grabe.
short, we found out he had the accent. We
I would love to hear that. Like,
Oh, sige. So we had a radio show
Yeah,
at that
oh.
time. It's called the Robo Rock Radio Show on UR 105.9. Kailangan talaga ganun yung pagsabi. UR 105.9. Yeah. So we had that radio show. The radio show, yung Robo Rock Radio Show, was about 2 hours worth of the music we play there were what do you call it? Like cartoon music or anime music or just music from our childhood. So Voltes 5, then we'll have Daimo. So one day puro mech robots ganyan.
Yeah.
So it's a radio show. Pero the music that we will play are these classic tunes. Anyway, one day we had a caller. And the caller was like, "Oh, mates from parang oh, mates from Australia, love your radio show." Tapos biglang ako parang like, "Oy, wow, may audience tayo from Australia." So anyway, ito naman kami. Eng din. We had him on the, we're like, "Oh, gawin naman umalis kasi wala naman kaming," we enjoyed callers at that time. Hindi naman namin naisip na paano siya tatawag from Australia, di ba? Na local line yung gamit. So anyway, we kept him no, we kept him on board.
Okay.
We kept him on board for the whole show. And then at the end of the show, sabi niya, "Hey, can I greet my family over there?" Sabi ko, "Yeah, sige, sure." And then biglang nagbisaya siya ng maayong ganito, ganyan. Tapos tawa ako like all of us were floored. And the talent of this guy was unheard of. Again, we go back to the idea of potential. So
Solid.
I told him after the show, sabi ko, "Hey, stay on the line, I want to talk to you." Sabi ko, "We're doing this show called Front Act, etc. We wrote this segment na a parody of Steve Irwin. That time was big. Bear Grylls, Steve Irwin." And then I'm like, "Can I meet you?" Sabi ko, sige, yeah, sure. So I met up with this guy. And then when I saw him, nakangiti siya. Sabi ko, "Wait, di ba nagtatrabaho ka na sa amin? Aren't you yung PA namin?" And I remember him specifically because we have a sponsored na Pancit Malabon Express at that time.
God, ang
Anyway,
ganda. Okay.
so sponsor namin Pancit Malabon Express. So we get meals. And then at the end of they give us meals for like 30 to 50 people. But our crew was just like 10, 12. So there's extra food. And I remember specifically na si Marco would take home, we let him take home the rest of the food. Kasi nga, anyway, he has this anecdote of a story na he ate 13 cups of rice with 2 pieces of longganisa. So anyway, so parang kami, he's like this eater
What the
guy. So we're
hell?
like, sige, bring it home, enjoy it. Anyway, so I met up with the caller, and then I'm like, "Diba, na mag-work ka na sa amin, diba?" Sabi niya, "Oh, ako yun. Yeah,
Oh,
Marco.
Umuwi ng
Yeah, he was
palabok.
the drummer for Giniling Festival, and most of our crew.
No way!
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Most of our-
Siling Giniling.
Yeah,
Siling
exactly. Yeah.
Giniling.
He's the original. I don't know if he's the original,
Dude.
but he was the drummer for Giniling, and
Wow.
and all our crew during that time were band members because we didn't have much budget, so most of the people that we hired were band people. And the people that
Ganda.
they hired to help out are all their friends or bandmates. Ganyan. So,
Yeah.
so anyway, we went the next day. Sabi ko, "Tara, shoot tayo. Let's, if you can be on cam, let's try it out." We came in the next day to film the segment na we wrote. And then he's like, tawa siya ng tawa. Sabi ko, "Ba't ka tawa? May name na ako." Sabi ko, "Anong name mo?" Bogart. Tapos tawa ako ng tawa sa car kami. Naalala ko, parking lot of Cruz na Ligas.
Okay.
We were in a
Ang
parking
ganda.
lot. Parking
Talino
lot ng UP. And then we
Talino
were yung the one where there's parang stalls na maliit. Anyway, we were in the parking lot. Tawa kami ng tawa sa kotse sa Bogart. So sige, tara, bis na. We put together an outfit. Anything khaki naman would be, alam mo yun, we didn't have...
Considered Steve Irwin, yeah.
Yeah, so we had him wear... tapos yung shirt wasn't his, so obviously it's very tight-fitting to him at that time. He hasn't lost the weight yet, so it was tight-fitting, so medyo funny kasi hindi niya masara. We got a hat from our director, I think, and
Ang
then
ganda.
beads.
I think the hat made it.
Yeah, and then the shoes were just like, we got it from another guy who had work boots on. We just Caterpillar, yung mga, alam mo yung mga kind of yellow boots.
Yeah.
So, you had the look. So we came in, did our first take. Tawang-tawa kasi kami to the line like, "Is the rare Filipino taong grasa?" tawan-tawa lang kami with the rare Filipino taong grasa. I don't know. I'm right now, 2019. I don't know like how, syempre now it's gonna be harder to make that joke. But at that time, it was really funny, the concept of it. And then so we took our first take, and then biglang okay, the line is, my name is Bogart, and this is the rare Filipino taong grasa, something like that. Tapos biglang so pasok si Marco, Bogart na yung ideal name namin. Oy mates, I'm Bogart. Tapos biglang kami parang bitin. So nag-usap kami, sabi ko parang, uso si Dora, why don't we call it Bogart the Explorer? So take 2. Oy mates, I'm Bogart the Explorer. Tapos parang bitin.
Bitin pa rin.
So sabi ni Marco, I'm a proud Davaoenyo. I want to represent Davao. Sabi, can I say from Davao City? I don't know how that would look. Sabi ko, sige, let's take it again. Oy mates, I'm Bogart the Explorer from Davao City. And this is the Philippine taong grasa. Let's go. Ganun. So we added catchphrases. Going back to catchphrase, we added let's go. We added amazing. Syempre with the Australian accent, it was unique.
Of course.
Philippines is not known to do accents. So, I mean, name someone other than Willie Nepomuceno who does impressions. There's not a lot.
You are absolutely correct.
No one does British accents. No one does Australian. So Marco, who was working at a call center, center at that time would have been unique. That's why we wanted to try him out to be this character. and it all worked out.
And it worked out so well, yeah.
And then ever since, we were doing him for... Kaya not a lot of people knew he was on TV first. He was on TV 2 years before we put him online. When we opened up a YouTube channel, we were like, you know what, let's try to put in Bogart. Kasi we developed the show na any of the segments could have been its own show. Ganun namin inisip.
Yeah.
If we were going to do 15 pilot episodes, this is our show. The TV got, we were before the PBA. We were before Wow Mali. It was called Front Act at that time because we were the front act of Wow Mali. And
how does your dad feel about the Lola?
No. It was okay because we were paying a lot of money to block time at that time. We didn't make our money back. We lost a lot of money in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah. Experimental.
And then we moved to. Then the reason it's called Front Act because our hosts noon were 2 stand-up comedians, Mike Conson and Stanley Chi. Stanley Chi, current writer of the Suplado Tips and all that. Mike Conson, very good stand-up comedian. Si Stan was the front act or the opening act ni Mike Conson. And then si Mike Conson was the opening act at that time ni Rex Navarrete. So,
wow, okay.
So that's why you called it Front Act. And then we were the front act ng Wow Mali in a way. And then after that, we moved to Solar. Front act naman kami ng PBA. Okay. So we were, yun yung idea lang at that time. So yun nga, a small project on TV. Pero may gem, which was Bogart.
Yeah.
And then when we stopped doing, our last was on GMA News TVF. We had 5 seasons for Front Act. Pero yun nga, we're a niche show. Our audience were people who were just clicking through. We put it on YouTube wherein we're able to level the playing field. We're able to reach more people. And then the first video we put out, I'm not sure if it was the Konyo video, but we put out one of the Bogart episodes. Overnight, tulog na kami, uploaded it. Overnight, we had 10,000 views. And at that time, that was huge. Like now, it's like an hour for a lot of people.
But 10,000 is
at that time.
No, even now, like 10,000.
Kasi if you look at it, at the time we
Grabe,
started, only 20% of the country had internet. So not a lot of people had YouTube or Facebook or whatever. So that was big. That was going viral na, quote unquote. And then from 10,000, naging 100,000, but at that time we already had 2 seasons. Siguro 3 seasons worth of Bogart episodes. So we started uploading all these past episodes, mga best of na. And then sa mga tao, parang bago to. Like parang, okay to like new kind of show, new kind of comedy. And at that time, we were producing for TV. So we had a little bit of budget. Not a lot, but we put in effort. So for a digital content, it had a lot more production into it. May ganung feels na kasi the people who predate us would be people like Mikey Bustos, Petra Malimuyak, siguro by a couple of months.
And these are also names that you've mentored?
No. These are people now we were like, hey, look, they were going big online. Let's try to put one of our content online.
Okay.
They were people we looked up to. Lalo na si Mikey. Kasi, like,
Mikey Bustos just...
no, but his content nun was Pinoy boy pa. So he was doing the Tagalog stuff. Pero at that time, these are, pati si Petra nun, these are mobile videos or laptop videos. Great content, but the production value, syempre, it was personal pa. So this was before vloggers had like their nice cameras and microphones and all that. But this is just people with good writing skills and funny people. Comedy was a big thing. Ramon and all of them, diba? They were doing well online with Dan Michael and all that.
Actually, Dan Michael was such a...
That was the best.
Super
That was the best.
nakakatawa. Grabe yun.
So Bogart...
Ito ba yung card mo?
Yun nga eh. Ito ba yun? Tapos lalo na yung meron...
Sobrang mali.
And it's super funny because when I was talking to them about Dan Michael, one of their inspirations for it was one of my dad's old movies.
Really? And,
Yeah, I forget
do you
which
remember?
one. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it was Super Mouse and the Roborats. And
Oh my gosh.
I think there was but Rene Requiestas, basta may character sila na parang, may bubog. Aapak ako sa bubog and whatever. Yung mga ganong mga fake magician jokes.
Ang ganda, okay.
Gags.
Na-imagine ko na si Rene Request.
And then biglang yung magagawa niya kunwari and then biglang yung pala masakit talaga. So then you have a similar gag for Dan
Ramon,
Michael
yeah.
wherein he dips into
Yung tub, di
the
ba yun?
tub ng tubig. Mga ganun. Mga ganun, it's this, or kakain ng bubog yata.
Gusto ko yung
Meron
sa,
yun eh,
yung
kakain
sa
ng bubog
yung
yan.
tub ng yellow.
Yeah.
So, parang isa-submerge daw yung sarili
Oh,
niya,
yan,
diba?
yan.
Tapos, he was there for like, may security guard.
Na parang
Tapos sabi
haba
niya, 2 seconds!
Yun. That was based, I think, on a gag na my dad made before.
Oh my gosh.
So, hindi
Sobrang
nakakatawa
astig.
lang because kami naman, our generation, and I know you had Miko and Joel
Joel
prior.
Ferrer, Mike Nicolevela, yeah.
Our idols naman growing up, in terms of media, were sina Ramon, sina R.A. These guys were doing content way before everybody else
Yung
was.
di ba? Pati sinatado.
Sinatado. They were doing, what's that show on UN? Strange Brew.
Yeah.
And that-
Who was the girl? Yung laging tama!
Sino yan?
Basta yung girl yung kasama ni Tado.
Si Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and who was also played by Julia Clarete then in a future series, future season. So parang these
not
are
know that.
these are
Cool.
these are people, these are content creators. So
Yeah.
at that time parang kaya din natin to, gawa rin tayo. Anyway, Bogart went viral online and that put us on the map. All of a sudden we're right in the mix. We had 2 years worth of content to put
But this
in.
was under what? Not front act anymore.
No, it was Paperbug na. So we started
Paperbug na.
the original channel name of Paperbug was Front Act Hecklines. Because at that time, parang email address lang to, yung mga Flipboy69, mga ganun. Ano ba mga mga MIRC names nyo? I'm sure everyone here was in MIRC.
I cannot believe no joke to.
Yeah.
My MIRC before was ERAP 98.
Talaga?
Sobrang labo. And then I would like really try to meet girls and like, ASL. Hi, ASL.
Hey guys,
But my name was ERAP 98.
Ako naman.
Ang labo.
Ako Flipboy nun Flipboy saka Baby Joe.
Baby Joe.
Hindi ko alam kung bakit
Baby
Baby
Joe
Joe.
sounds a lot better than ERAP 98.
No, pero-
so much more like.
But it was during that time
Oh
na we
my
never
goodness.
really thought of branding in that
I was
sense.
grade 6 by the way.
Diba?
So
We
everyone
thought that
knows.
it was a channel name.
Child.
And the goal was to put our segments online. So
Yeah.
we started with Bogart.
Mhm.
And the channel was called Front Act Hecklines. Anyway, we went viral. And then later on, I wanted to change it. Now we changed it to Paperbug. Kasi nung una, uso yun Uso yun two random words na you put together. And ito, during this time, sabay-sabay to. So lahat ng mga Paperbug, sige, bigyan mo ako ng
come on.
names.
Give me
Mga production houses na pinagdikit lang yung mga pangalan.
Like, what?
Hindi, mga I'll think of something. Pero
Sige,
like,
sige.
at that time, uso yun.
Indioboy.
Oh, parang Brain Barn kami before. Brain Barn. Pero yun yung time na naglalagay ka ng something na may, kasi since creative ka, lalagyan mo ng ng mga brain o mga, di ba, mga ganyan eh. Oh, brain, child, mga ganun eh. But then later on, naging 2 words lang na walang kinalaman, di ba? So kami, paper, saka bug. Animal, usually animal and an inanimate object, di ba? Parang
Pencil cat.
I'm sure may mga, like, pag nag-search na, I'm sure meron yan. So the mistake we had was that, syempre, ang ganda pakinggan. Hey, we're PaperbugTV, di ba? Pero, outside, paper bag ang alam ng tao.
Oh my gosh,
So,
paper bag.
And nakakahiya.
Say no to plastic, paper bags
And
na
then,
lang.
saka
Oh,
ang
boom.
nakakahiya pa, they correct me. Parang like, oh guys, anong pangalan ng production mo? Paper bug. You mean paper bag? Hindi. Paper bug talaga. Like bug, B-U-G. Okay. So parang like, the only time
So
lang
that-
is when I go to a convenience store and I buy something and they're like, paper bug, sir? Yes!
Yes.
Correct.
High five.
Thank you for
Thank
knowing
you.
our name.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's
That's how you tell. That's what you tell people when they ask, "Oh, so how did Paperbug came about?"
That's exactly it. I thought of 2 words that were one animal. I like the idea of a bug. Paper, and actually my story on paper, the only reason bakit paper is because when I write scripts or Bogart episodes, I don't type it out. I write it on paper. And then I cut the pieces of paper in like kunwari, let's say Bogart, we're shooting a Bogart episode. At that time, it was puro joke after joke. So, kunwari, yung the segments of the joke, I will write it down on paper, cut it up, and then I will move it around to see what is the funniest. The goal kasi at that time was to get them from minute 0 seconds to the end of the video, which means dapat you keep the attention of the person.
Grabe.
So
So you were the put together. You guys were stand-up comedians.
In a way, yeah. So you're
Yeah.
putting together your set, diba? So yung
No,
set
I mean
mo,
like you wrote stuff for Bogart.
yeah.
Wow. And then plus Bogart's pretty like
It's
hella
quick.
witty.
No,
hella
the
quick.
thing with Marco that it's a partnership talaga because I would write it out as a joke, but the way he delivers it is 90% of the job. Diba? I could write a funny joke, but if the character can't deliver
Delivery
it,
and yes.
parang I learned it then from the stand-up comedians I was working with, Mike and Stan. What they did before was they even had a recorder. So a lot of stand-up comedians will have a recorder to see their laughs per minute. So, bino mo ganun, ganun ka sila ka-dedicated to the craft.
Wow,
They're
dude.
looking at their laughs per minute to see how the set will flow. So, I adapted that to the videos that I make. Na parang, how can I get the person from second 0 to minute, 5 or 3? And so, the paper, I would move it around on the floor until I would get until in my head, parang, okay, haha, funny. Okay, maglalagay ako ng segment na hindi masyadong funny. And then, like, para to yung laughs ko hindi bumaba. I won't put 2 super funny segments right next to each other kasi makakain yung isa. Yung mga ganun. So ganun ako mag-edit kasi I can't edit on the computer.
that's
My
hella
editor
smart.
does it. And then, like, we have an editor, si Amir, who also adds his own humor into it. And then, like, we would put together the show. So,
That's insane, man. So kayong tatlo nagbumuno. This
no,
guy named Amir.
Si Amir, it was
You
me.
and
When we
Bogart?
started off, it
Marco,
was we had a director, si Mark Misa, who would direct the episode. They would go back to me. It started sa TV kasi. They shot the Bogart we know now at least. The segments kasi was more written na parang kunwari may creature. So the 2 kinds of Bogart videos, the creature video, which is the Philippine Konyo, or kasi creatures namin are the local things we see, diba? So the Philippine Konyo
Grasa,
from
the
from
Philippine
the hills of green, or something. Or the hills of Alabang or something. I don't know. The jokes are usually like that naman eh. And then, so there's a creature videos. Yun, we have a format na we write down. So that's easy. Pero then there was one episode na him and the director, si Mark, they went out driving around. They came back to me with an hour of tape. Tape pa to.
Grabe, mga
yeah.
P2 card pa siguro yan.
No, wala pa. Hindi na kami umabot doon. It was tape. It was literally mini DV. So, we had the tape. And then, like, 1 hour of tape. Tapos sabi nila, I don't know what we could do with this. Kasi wala. They were just going around the car. And we had the show to edit for TV. So, me and Amir, we took the tape. We took the 1 hour of tape. And then when we were watching it, we're like, oh no, wala tayong episode for Bogart. When we were watching it, tawa kami ng tawa because purely of Marco. Marcos, like, so in that 60 minutes of tape, may gold dun na mga like 3 minutes. We cut that up, we put it together. Random moments during the drive. It's called Philippine Driving, if you could find it online.
Sige.
It's sobrang, that kind of humor lang, na tawa ka lang ng tawa kasi uma-adlib lang siya the entire time. So yeah, it's called Philippine Driving. Look it up. May Philippine Driving Part 2 pa yan eh. I don't know where I uploaded that one. But that was the first time that's where Paperbug, I feel, was born. Kasi I had to write it all out, the funniest scenes. And then I cut those up. And then ina-arrange ko sila on paano ba yung best combination of these random scenes. And then they ended up kind of working, and from 60 minutes na they felt they had nothing, we had gold. So that's when we realized, okay, you know what, like baka we should do travel.
Yes.
And then we did a La Union episode. It was the first episode that we produced after we stopped television. We went to La Union, we looked at just funny stuff, joke after joke, did the same editing, and then that went viral again. Na people biglang...
But this is all as Bogart the Explorer,
as Bogart on YouTube. And then we got... Bogart the Explorer siya, but we never really explored. Alam mo yun, like, it was a dumb name na we just wanted.
Yeah.
So it was the first time we were doing travel, which was La Union. And then we got nominated the month off for Explorer of the Year, Globe Tat Awards ba. So kami, syempre, nakakahiya, di ba? You're nominated...
Oh my gosh.
You're nominated against top travel bloggers in the country. Bloggers pa to, the people who write it out talaga. And then Bogart, who had one episode about La Union, di ba? Pero, since pangalan niya, The Explorer, I guess it was, likely... It was a voting
man.
Voting. So,
Yeah,
syempre,
yeah.
lamang kami with fans nun. We won. I mean... I guess now is a good time to we share that award with all of them.
Oh my goodness.
But
that's insane.
So after that, Bogart was known to do travel. So we're like, you know what? Let's keep traveling. So we started na-evolve si Bogart from a parody show to travel.
Yeah.
And then we started doing north of the Philippines. We did a DOT campaign. We did Boracay. That was the next one that changed the game. We did a Boracay episode. And
Ano
then,
yung mga hinanap nyo doon? Ano yung mga creatures
oh,
nyo doon?
man. Ang favorite ko is sa La Union kasi there was the Korean wave. Eh.
What's the Korean wave?
So we found parang nakalimutan ko yung script, but like I used to memorize every single Bogart app, but like the Korean wave, we found this group of Koreans. Hindi pa siya big here at that time. Like they were starting to come in.
Okay.
K-pop
Pero yung parang
wasn't big.
Yeah, pero alam mong may micro
We went to them and we're like, hey, can we shoot you for our... As in, literally, they did the wave. And the joke was, the Korean wave. And then they did a wave. These 10 Korean boys did a wave.
Gosh.
Meron yung... And then yun nga. So it started like doing whatever jokes we could find. There was there was a macho temple there in La Union. It's called the Macho Temple. That's what the name is, diba? And then may mga ganun. So we started doing mga jokes like that. So we looked at funny stuff in the area. In Boracay, we were so inspired by alam mo yung scenes sa Austin Powers wherein like parang, oh, that looks like 2 balls. Yung ganun.
Yung laging may
Yeah.
laging may it skips to another cut.
Yeah, so we started doing that in
those look
Boracay.
like melons.
Yeah, so
Get your free
So
melons.
nag-start kami with that. Nakakita kami ng Wang Mart. And then like, Wang Mart, ganyan, is one of the Korean, is one of the foreign stores here in Boracay. Wang also means, tapos we go like Dick. Gordon is the ganyan-ganyan. So we saw a Dick Gordon sign. Just connect lang namin hanggang sa, kunwari, Dick sounds like Cox, which is a store there. For some reason, we found that.
Oh my gosh.
And then Cox
That is so smart,
goes
yeah.
into Phuket Beach. Kasi Puka Beach eh, di ba?
Yeah.
Phuket Beach. Ganyan. So parang we started with that. Tawa kami ng tao. We started doing more travel. Tapos sabi namin, until when can we do that kind of thing? And then ang goal namin was to get to either Australia or Africa. Wow. And eventually we did the Sydney episode. And medyo after that parang
How
okay.
did you get... Okay,
Yeah.
First of all, how did you get funding for this?
Most of it kami lang. We'll work with brands if we can. Kasi every year I want to
But
take...
specifically the Sydney...
Sydney, we worked with Cebu Pacific.
that is awesome,
they were
bro.
launching... Bogart was hosting a launch.
Did Bogart have a visa for...
We worked
time?
with... we had to work with the Australian Embassy along with Cebu Pacific to get our visas. Pero ganun talaga. Kasi you're trying to build... Here's how we look at it. There is a goal, which is what you want to achieve as content. And then from there, how do you get it? So any goal for that matter, you put it out there. You name it. Let's say your goal is to watch WWE. Diba? So you put it out there. You want to watch WrestleMania. How do you get there? So syempre, buy a ticket, buy an airfare, ganun. So that's how we planned it out. We're like, okay, we want to go to Boracay. And then at that time, meron pa to go. And we're like, okay, masyadong mahal to fly in 10 people. It's not because we're a big crew, but because every year, nainggit ako na, like, my dad works for Eat Bulaga, and every year they have their annual travel. So one of my idols is Eat Bulaga producer, Mr. Tuviera. And every year, he would take them, the hosts, on a trip, Hong Kong. Ang first trip namin, hindi HK, EK lang. Sabi ko, sige, tara, EK tayo. EK kami! Wow, saya. And then Eat Bulaga also holds, Tape Office, rather. They also hold Christmas party every year. So, Christmas party din kami. May raffle sila na sobrang fun. So,
Yeah,
kami...
I worked in Eat Bulaga before.
Yeah.
I worked
Ay, talaga?
and I was a floor director. And
May raffle yan,
Yeah,
every year.
we had a raffle.
And then
I won
everybody wins.
I think it was a...
Mga rice cooker, mga ganyan.
Hindi, ano siya. Electric fan. I won
Oh,
electric
yeah,
fan,
diba?
yeah.
Like, ang saya nun. Tapos people win cash prizes.
Yes.
So, ako with my team nun,
13
even
month
wala kaming money at that time to produce, but I wanted to give them the same. Parang ang dream ko was to do what Mr. Tuviera was doing and to give back to his team, diba? So, kami, we did raffle din. Pero yung mga raffle namin nun, mga kung ano lang mahanap namin, mga cellphone na, alam mo nung time na yun, yung mga like, I don't know, mga appliance na you could buy it for 200 pesos. So yun yung mga raffle namin. Like, pero grabe
Yung mga
to.
mini-fan.
Hindi, pero hindi nila in-expect kasi, the Paperbug team at that time, hindi nila in-expect na magkaroon ng raffle prize. So tuwan-tuwa sila with an iron. Like, kunwari meron kami plancha. Yay! Diba? Grand prize namin.
Which
And
is
then,
really funny. Kakabili ko lang ng plancha.
hindi,
Just now.
diba, at that time, although na yun, nagbebeg na sila, please, wala nang wag na natin lagyan ng gas stove. Kasi parang every year may gas stove. But that was fun for me. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yun nga, ang idol ko noon was sila Mr. T. And then yun nga.
Ano diba? APT now.
APT now at the
Yeah.
studio. So
Galing.
so ako naman, I wanted to apply that. So one of the things that I wanted to apply was to take my team on trips. I didn't have money to pay for all of them to go on a trip. So we would, work with brands who can take us there. Like kunwari, I don't think plane fares would cover 10 people. Siyempre, logically, they will just cover your camera, your DP, director, producer, and audio person.
And Bogart.
Siguro. And Bogart himself. So, since I wanted to take the whole team, nag-vote kami. Kita namin, to go. So, pitch kami to go. Anyway, they got our...
Philippines to Australia to go.
And then, no. This was to
Pucha,
Boracay.
grabe, akala
Ang galing
ko-
nun.
Grabe yun. Go.
No. We did Boracay. And then after nun, the goal was to do... we did a lot of other places. And then our goal was to do Sydney. And then we did Sydney.
Okay.
We did a video with Cebu Pacific and they helped us out to go to Sydney to launch their Sydney flight. And then what's cool with that is parang na-realize namin, from a parody to travel, nagawa na natin eh. What can we do next? And then that opened up a little bit later or a little bit before that was interviews. We realized we got a shot to go to Singapore to interview the Guardians of the Galaxy cast. And we were like, sige, what did we want to prove? We wanted to prove that Filipinos could do good interviews, good English-speaking interviews that people can be proud of. Because I think at that time we had a lot of like mga mishaps in interviews and it was going viral for the wrong reasons.
Oh my, parang may shame talaga for...
And the thing is, the
it's our
funny,
accent.
No, and it's mostly that, or it kasi different when you're interviewing as a journalist. Diba? Like there's nothing like this. There's no camera, there's no audio. You can write it out. So no matter gaano ka baloktot yung English mo or gaano ka awkward yung interview, it doesn't matter because on print it would look pristine. But because of the age of digital media and video, naging video thing na yan. So, you know, I feel bad then kasi these are people that are good at their job. It's just that when the video came in, people were looking at the wrong things rather than what's being asked or whatever. But anyway, we wanted to change that. We wanted to show that, hey, look, we can do a funny, entertaining, viral interview without... Kasi yung originally, they wanted us to joke around.
Yeah.
Kasi Bogart, comedy, di ba? We pitched it. And sabi ko, I don't want to do a comedy thing kasi that's what people are... Parang
Expecting.
ayaw rin namin bastusin yung celebrity, di ba? By playing a prank on them or whatever. So sabi namin, we want to prove that we could do the interview. And at that time, they only had a slot for... Because nga, digital kami, the slot was just for Bogart to fly. Eh, syempre, si Bogart, hindi naman siya sanay... Marco, it wasn't naman the one filming or hindi rin naman siya yung nag-interview and whatever. So, I wanted to bring my team. So, I spent money to bring my team over to Singapore because I felt like, okay, I think this is an opportunity. There's potential in this to do this. We went in there, and at that time, wala pa yung setup.
Galaxy 1 pa to?
Galaxy
Volume 1.
1.
Okay.
Wala pa yung setup na, you know yung setup na may parang pick-pack yung
Yung
wala ganun.
Interview,
Kasi since
interviewer.
digital kami, they put us under, like audio journalists or written journalists na they wanted us to bring our own cam. They wanted Bogart to bring his own cam and siya yung magfi-film. So parang I didn't want that look naman kasi we wanted nga to look legit eh.
Yeah.
So we brought in my camera guy, DP, si Steve Flor, and then our audio girl, Paula Gupana. So it was me, Bogart, Paula, and Steve. And then, nagbeg na ako na, sige, kahit same room na lang kami lahat or basta lang, kasi mahal na eh. I paid for 3 more flights, di ba? So, we shared a hotel. Yun naman, tinulungan naman kami to get hotels at least. But the flights, syempre, I covered.
Yeah.
When we got there, we wanted it to look legit. All the other journalists, they had the setup. Kami wala. So, ginagawa namin, we would sneak in the day before to see how it looked. Tapos, papracticein namin how to set up the cameras kasi you have an amount of time.
Wow, yeah, man. Yeah,
7 to 10 minutes to interview them na yun. 3 minutes na lang. So, the night before, nagko-practice kami ng setup. Setup ng camera, how fast. Alam mo yung parang when people are trying to put together a gun sa mga like army
Sa mga
training.
army, like Forrest Gump, like
Eto.
Sir, done, sir.
Ito, ganun ginagawa namin yun with how can we set up a 2-camera setup with audio and lapels in under 2 minutes para hindi kami masayangan ng oras. So, ginagawa namin, we sneak in, we'll check it out, and then we'll set up, and then so we did it the next day. And then true enough, like we were lucky na we risked because of that, like si Bogart opened up another avenue to his character na, hey, look, si Bogart pala can do these good interviews. The interviews went viral. Kasi we were also, nag-gift din kami ng Barrelman, yung from the Philippines Barrelman. So Batista, syempre, in-open niya. It was Batista, director James Gunn, and si Gamora. So
That's
si Zoe,
awesome, yeah.
Zoe Saldana.
Grabe.
So after that, we ended up interviewing Hugh Jackman.
I saw that, actually.
So again, that went viral. And then recently, we did si Aquaman, si Jason Momoa. And even that went viral because at the end of the video, si Jason Momoa was so happy with Bogart na he was like, he killed it. This guy killed it. Gumaganon siya. So parang we realized, grabe yun yung peak namin, Hugh Jackman. Like, syempre, who would be the best person that Bogart can interview than an actual Aussie?
Yeah. And I watched that interview. In fact, Hugh said that was really not bad. Like,
he was
really
happy.
good.
Yeah. He was so happy
He was
about
so
it.
convinced.
No, he was so happy about it. He was calling Bogart by his first name after the interview. Hindi, saka yun nga eh, parang evolution of content. And I guess that's what I'm driving at. Na we started Bogart from a parody of Steve Irwin to a travel personality on his own to an interviewer that can do like really good interviews. And then we were doing events. At that time, he was hosting. at that time, si Marco, who plays Bogart, is not that confident to do hosting. So para akong stage mom ng Little Miss Philippines doon. Like, mimicking everything, di ba? Like, everything na, speak, ganyan. And then we did TV. After that, sabi na, what else can we do with a character? And then we started doing TV on a show called Bogart Case Files on CNN. So full circle. We started as on Solar TV, which is now CNN Philippines. We started as a segment there, went online, and then they wanted him back as his own show on CNN. And I feel like we've done as much for the character as we can. And now, bagong story na for him. He's lost 100 pounds as a child now. We have a restaurant called Hoy Pa Nga and Kanin Baboy.
I think what amazes me honestly is your drive to what's next.
Yeah, kasi
It's always that.
no, because you can't be stagnant. Parang I feel na once I read a book. It's called Blue Ocean Strategy. And Blue Ocean Strategy just shows na you don't have to compete in a red ocean where everyone's competing in. There's a big blue ocean out there of stuff that you can do different. And you can you can eliminate the competition by making them irrelevant. That's the idea. So, Blue Ocean Strategy, let's say, would apply to, let's say, Cirque du Soleil. That was their main example. Circuses were, at that time, were cheap, pero there was animal abuse and all that. And then the opera and like plays were expensive. So what they wanted to do was, but profitable. So what they wanted to do is take the idea of the circus, take away the big name acts para mas mura, and then like they eliminated the animals and whatever. They took the prestige of theater, and they put that together to create a new thing.
Actually,
na is both pricey, but at the same time you get the same entertainment as a circus. So parang Blue Ocean, actually mali yung pag-explain ko doon. I'm just hearing myself right now. But anyway, look it up. The whole idea lang is you eliminate the competition by making them irrelevant. So you're going into a new thing. You're going into a new big blue ocean na walang competition. And then hopefully that creates, you make them irrelevant because the audience will follow you. And now you're at the peak of that. And then to keep yourself there, because once you create a blue ocean, everybody will follow. Kasi yun na yung bagong trend. So all the red ocean people will go there. And then from there, you have to go to another route. Kasi kung hindi, habulin ka rin nila eh.
True.
Because they have more budget or whatever reason. So you keep jumping. Siguro rin may pagka-ADD rin ako in terms of stuff. So I really want to do something new all the time. Kasi parang you want to achieve as much eh. I don't know.
Yeah, but okay, before we end this, I want to know now. That was before, but now that everyone has their own show, everyone has their own content, what kind of advice can you give newcomers?
I think it's the same. It's the same as before. It's okay, just to wrap it all up, I guess, in a bow. When I started out, Mr. Tovera sat us down, kami magkakapatid, for I don't know for what reason, but we ended up talking, and he said,
but you took it to heart.
I took it to heart. I was 13 years old. We were in Hong Kong at the malapit sa escalator ng Marco Polo, the mall.
Yeah.
May escalator dun padulo. Pagkakit mo dun, nandun yung Zara, Diesel. Anyway, if you've been to Hong Kong, you would know where that is. There's a restaurant somewhere there. He sat down with us. And then one of the Bulaga trips. And then he said, for some reason, this one, it really stuck with me. He said, do what you love and you will be successful. And that's also, I guess, why I didn't do medicine, because maybe that wasn't my calling. Yeah. I went with something. It was a risk, but it was a calculated risk, I guess, at that time. But it was something that I enjoyed doing. And then, funny enough, my dad talked to me a few months later. Sabi naman niya, love what you do, and you'll never have to work a day in your life. So parang okay, oo nga naman, kasi not everybody can do what you love. So whatever you do, you have to love it. And it's the same effect. And then si Francis Magalona naman, who was also, like, I guess, a mentor naman to me. We were sitting down in a hotel in one of the Bulaga trips. And then he was like, Jax, tingnan mo to. Like, he was teaching me photography in the room. And then, like, he was bringing out clothes. Sabi niya, I sell this from the trunk of my car. Sabi niya, like, I like making clothes. It was FMCC at the early days pa. And he said, you can make money doing what you like. So when you put all three together, you can love what you do or do what you love, and you can make a living out of it. And I think that's something I tell a lot of people now, is that you have to look at your passion. You look at your passion, and if you put passion at heart, then you will have profit eventually. Because at the end of the day, ang sabi nga ni Mr. Tinon was, the reason why you do what you love and you will be successful is because if you really love what you do, you will do anything to make it a success. You will do anything. You will risk. And then eventually, anything that comes to it that makes you happy is already profit. It's already like, giving it back. Kasi from Front Act to Bogart, from Bogart, I met Miko, who was in the previous, I'm sure you guys talked about Tanods. I was able to do Tanods. Because of Tanods, I was able to, I realized, and hey, look, I wanted to make shows. So we did a Sobema show. Bogart was hosting as Hajime Santos. Yun yung character naman niya doon. We developed more characters for Bogart because we wanted Marco to have more stuff. From Hajime Santos's Asobema show, Super Game Show, I met Will.
Yeah.
From meeting Will, I am now mentoring a lot of creators. I see the changes now. I was able to, because of Will, I'm able to work with other people as well. I'm continuing in the industry at least. And then full circle, because of that, I get to work with people that I didn't think I'm going to be working with. And also because of Will, I'm more comfortable in front of the camera. Because I'm always in his vlog. I'm a character in his vlog.
Are you a willing character?
Unwilling, but I became comfortable. I became like, oy, may camera.
Cool.
Oy, okay, hey guys, how you doing, guys? Diba? Like, and then I started doing vlogs on the side, but then I realized I didn't like it that much, like doing personal vlogs. But I realized, oh, you know what? It's not too late to be in front of the camera. I think it's something that I enjoyed talking. I realized that vlogging has taught me so much, and that brought me here.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if this was me 10 years ago, I wouldn't be talking like this. I would be like, ketchup, please. Diba? So I think the lesson, the lesson of all of this is that it's okay to be lost if you're going in the right direction. And try everything. There's nothing wrong with your 20s, your early 30s. You're meant to go in whatever direction you want.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're gonna find what you're looking for. Yun nga, again, to close it off, let us say that quote again. Kay Master Ogway. Ano ulit yun?
It was and then one often finds his destiny in the road he took to avoid it.
Tama.
Ganda.
Diba? So there you go. Teka, yun. So any other questions? Aba na? Sorry.
Yeah.
One thing you learn na siguro like that was 20 years or more of me na hindi nagsasalita, and then nowadays again now I'm again like kahit kami I was telling this earlier, parang we're trying to start our own podcast as well with Justin. Well, you did the reset then with us. Like you open up doors.
True.
And,
True.
I guess now.
Yeah, I was so happy na, and we dragged you unwillingly was part of it as well.
Oh yeah, that
The
was
reset.
just yeah.
It was
that
supposed to
just-
be Fred, Mike, Mika, myself.
yeah, that's right. And,
And
then
then-
first episode, they're like, sama natin si Jako. And then I ended up talking then. And, that was a show we did. And because of that, I meet Justin later on. And Justin and I are doing a podcast.
With Maui, right?
yeah.
Maui as the
it's like the director, recorder, audio person, everything.
everything
Bale.
actually. Editor.
And I met Maui in Tanods. Diba? Like everything has a reason. If you really look hard, everything means something. Everyone that you meet is going to be someone that will change your life some way, shape, or form.
Magaling kang makakita ng potential sa tao.
Yeah, and I guess yun nga, sabi nga, if I have a talent, it is that, and then you take the risk.
But don't feel bad if he doesn't see it in you. Maybe he doesn't see it in you yet.
then
He has
normally I
to
could
prove-
see it na.
that person has to prove it kasi.
Yeah, no, it's
Because
ano.
I'm sure you wouldn't notice Will if he wasn't doing all that effort for
No,
himself.
and for
diba?
me, honestly, I love people. The greatest feeling in life is proving people wrong. So,
Right.
and
Especially if it's about even them believing in themselves.
exactly. No, I
Right?
think
Yeah,
I think
even more.
you know you could lose all your fans, and siguro these are people who already have
Yeah.
channels. As long as you believe in yourself, diba? Like you will always have that person.
Mm-hmm.
You'll always have that one person who believes in you, and don't make that not be you.
Yeah.
Diba? Like parang confidence.
That should be the last. Talaga.
Yeah,
But,
so,
yeah,
I'm
last
happy.
man standing
I'm
yan.
happy. Yeah, and thank you, I guess, for haba na daw. Nakita ko na. Sabi na. But yeah, I had fun. I had fun. Thank you for having me. Kanina I was feeling under the weather, and then at least now medyo.
Yay, we have coffee there.
Yeah, we'll have coffee.
We'll have
after this
coffee
water.
and some peanut butter.
Labo
Thank you.
nung mix.
Thanks,
Alright,
Jako.
well,
Thank you,
thanks,
Jako.
man.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
man.
much. Thank you. Solid yun.